Okay.
I just have to
Welcome everyone.
welcome guys.
To the first round of the Formula Virtual Racing Gran Turismo 7 Championship. I'm Carl, and this is Maxim with me.
Hello guys.
We are two blokes that have played this game for quite
4
some
years
time.
now.
Yeah. And yeah. So I'm just gonna introduce the teams just to have a quick look at who we're gonna be having to look for out in the races. So obviously we're streaming tier 1, so those will be the teams that will be racing under our stream. And so the first team is Stig's cousins, so that's Avesta Kabadi and Felix Schumacher. So I've got a quick description about Felix Schumacher. He is a German player, and he's 19 years old currently in university. He's been playing racing games since, as he said, since before he could walk, and he races mainly on F1. And he's a driver and manager for NLR Esports.
Nola Racing. Yeah, it's a very Nola Racing is quite a successful team in the German Esport League, where my friends from the upper splits race against Nola quite often. Good squad.
Good squad, indeed. And the second team that we're going to be looking for is BCR Esports, which has Xavier Maynard and James Kidwell, who are former teammates of mine actually in a league that we have raced together under the team name of Dalton Autosport, which is our old team, the greatest team to ever exist. And I've got a quick description of Xavier right here, and yeah, Xavier is a very, let's say, he has a good racing background in esports, and he has 3 teams championships, and he's managed to secure 2 drivers championships, and as a team they have 23 wins as a team together, and yeah, that's pretty good achievements, I'm gonna say.
Indeed.
And
The measure of success is very relative among all people, but this is a hobby at the end of the day. So it's nice to see everyone so proud of what they do here on Gran Turismo 7.
Yep. And the third team that we're gonna have a look for are the Speed Demons, which is considered of Ate Timgren and Rick Alders. The fourth team that we have is Octane RT. It has Ben Jeans and Pierre Desurne. The fifth team that we have is the No Name Racing team, and it has Nathan Marriott and Tyler Davison, an ex-teammate of mine as well in Dalton Autosport, really fast driver on Formula 1 and on Gran Turismo 7. He's, I think, one of the one to watches, Maxim. So
Indeed.
Gotta keep an eye on him.
Everyone is equally as much a threat.
Yep.
Anyone can win these races.
And then the sixth team that we have is the Rag Racing Blue. It has Cameron Hill as a first driver and Rick Debris as a second driver. The Time to Race team has Rami Azam and Peter Kramer, in Rami Azam being like a bigger brother to me.
Yeah, Rami Azam was actually my ex-teammate for a few months. Rami Azam is one of the nicest people you'll meet, and when he's motivated, he's got a lot of in real life things which supersede the Gran Turismo 7, but this guy, when he wants to be, is so super fast, and that's coming from a person with 100,000 DR. So yeah, Ramso definitely one to watch in this team.
Definitely want to watch, and also I'm gonna want to mention that Rami Azam has managed to make it to the Middle East and North Africa Toyota Gazoo Racing Cup. In 2023 he managed to make it to the final, so out of 24 drivers he managed to make it to the top 12, to the final 12. And yeah, he's gonna be definitely one to watch. And I've got some information about Peter Kramer. He's 18 years old, he likes to drive the Ford, and he's placed second in the Manufacturer Cup for Ford in 2023, and he's placed fourth in the National Hungarian Championship, and he's got 4 top 10s in time trial, and he's a driver for the virtual
drivers by TX3.
TX3.
Yep, TX3, very strong team indeed. This team once had the superstars of Gran Turismo like Baptiste Beauvoir, and yeah, as for Peter Kramer, I've actually been in the voice chat with him. This guy is a lovely person, and he's incredibly passionate about driving the Ford, so I think one to watch. Maybe his expertise will with the handling of his 2018 Ford will become crucial.
Yep. So right as we speak, we've got 9 drivers on the grid. So I think Tyler still hasn't entered in, and Play Dutchy still hasn't entered in.
Yep, indeed.
So Maxim, just wanted to see, like, have a bit of your opinion. So what are you expecting from today, and how much are you, on a scale of 1 to 10 obviously, how much are you gonna set expectations for today's race, knowing the Nurburgring GP is a pretty tough track to overtake, and strategies play a big part in this track? What would you expect? Well, as a spectator, obviously.
I hate to come out with the cliche straight away, but honestly, I'd expect the unexpected. Nurburgring GP is one of the most technical tracks out there. Very traction dependent. The mid-engined rear-wheel drive cars, the MR cars, are dominant around here. But these MR cars, compared to the FR cars, wear their tyres quite a lot more, and their pace degrades quicker than the FR cars. So I'm expecting people in the MR cars like Rami, Peter to be really up there in qualifying, but it's a 24-lap race. It's a very tight track. Whilst it's possible to go racing with each other, one mistake can lead to catastrophic consequences to the race time. So, and seeing how, as you said so eloquently, that strategy is so key around this track, because it's quite difficult to overtake. There's only 1 or 2 places to overtake here. So I think those drivers who can calculate the correct strategy and drive in as much clean air as possible so they can preserve the tyres was going to be paramount. And I would just expect the unexpected. In my opinion, anyone can win this race here. The balanced performance is quite equal on this game right now, so I'm very excited to see over the next 24 laps.
Yep, me too, likewise. Can't wait for the show. Sorry, I had to go for a quick toilet break.
Whilst my good friend Carl Prezi Etimazion is doing that, I can offer for spectators a little bit of a lap guide. So just choose any MR car.
I don't know, bro. The Hyundai Genesis, the car that Maxim is gonna qualify in for the Manufacturers Cup this year.
Yeah, you expect too much from me, Prezi, but yeah, let's do a quick lap so everyone can see. Now, I personally find Nurburgring GP one of my strongest tracks, so if I can offer some help to people before we start the show, let's do it. So you exit in 2nd gear, okay, then, let this guy through. You want to get the car as wide out as possible, and you want to start turning in just by the netting on the right hand side. What is so important about such a traction limited course is that you have to focus on the exits. You have to be precision is really rewarded here. So That's it. So you always have to open up the corners and focus on the exit, especially in a car like the Genesis here. So most people are going to be stopping around about here for the next corner, and then they're going to be taking an acute line and hugging the apex as much as possible. There's a lot of grip on that curb. Then you want to again focus on the exit, going as wide as possible and smash the throttle out. You can use all the track if you want.
But try to not hit the grass because it will give you dirty tires, which I'm not a fan of at all. Maxim, there's a car coming right behind you.
I'm so sorry, mate. But
I think you gotta just keep going and just make a slow lap and then just go for a flying lap. That's my opinion.
So the netting over there is your braking point. Then again, there's multiple approaches to this corner, but I like to take in very tight here. You wanna at the point where the gravel starts, you wanna start braking and you wanna really hug the apex. You'd think that this would be at the cost of exit speed, but because of the camber of the corner, it's much quicker to go in tight. Okay, it's coming in here. I start braking just as the netting starts on the left-hand side. Then there are multiple ways, but to do the corner, you can go in wide, but I prefer to hug the inside because whilst you might sacrifice a little bit of exit speed, you can pivot the car better. Here, this is a flat-out corner for every car. Oh, 6.4 meters of wind is quite a lot.
Famous shortcut S.
Yep. So then, at this this is the DRS detection point. That's the perfect place to start braking. Sorry. But then, there are multiple. What I love about Nurburgring GP is that there are so many different philosophies on how you can drive this circuit, and each are quite about the same. But in my opinion, on this particular corner, you have to go in wide and then focus on the exit. It's really, what's it called? It's a mixed bag, an absolute melange of different lines you can take around here. Now this is the chicane. Now so many superstars of GT have invalidated their laps here, but I would brake just as the curb.
100 meter board.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And here you want to watch out for the penalties because I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see.
Indeed.
Penalties.
Qualifying is going to be very challenging for these. So, and then hug the inside again. It's all about keeping the minimum speed up in certain corners, but on the exits, prioritizing the exits, but at the same time keeping the minimum speed up by taking all these tight lines. So, let's do a fast lap now. Second gear.
The nice Aston Martin.
Yep. For those who don't know, I'm a Fernando Alonso fan, so of course. So yeah, focusing on the exit.
It's really close with them dirty tires.
Nope. Okay. We'll do one more flying lap, sure. So yeah, you want to pivot. In a lot of cars, you want to pivot and put in a little bit of throttle input just to pivot the car and keep the minimum speed up. This corner should be easy flat, although the conditions here aren't very optimal. It's northwest. You want it from
which is not optimal.
Yep.
I think even a Gran Turismo World Series driver is struggling. I myself am a Gran Turismo World Series driver, but I'm kind of retired and washed up right now, so I'm not gonna say that. Ooh, that was pretty much against a penalty though.
That is a penalty, yeah, that's what you not do. Okay, this first lap will probably be a 55. So that's exactly what you're not supposed to do.
Yep.
So curbing, that's my braking point.
Is pretty good.
Yep.
remember FIA race, and pretty much like good lap times were around the 52s, if I remember correctly. And
Yep.
soft, low 52s, mid to low 52s. I was in the Porsche for that race. And
I was in the Porsche as well.
I did a 52.5, but I remember that was only good for 6th, and then I crashed in the race. Or we got a penalty in the chicane. But yes, so right now we're a full house. We've got, no, actually, excluding.
We'll do one more.
We have one driver that's missing. And, so I think the driver that's missing is James Kidwell from the BCR esports team. Yep, I think James Kidwell is missing.
Oh, shame for him.
But I saw him during the lobby earlier, and I think he should come soon. So, as we speak, the top times right now, I mean this is practice, so this is has nothing to do with the actual event, but the repair is at 54.4, and topping the leaderboards is Ramiz up with a solid 54.0 for the Porsche. Kramer just behind with the 54.4 and we've got Xavier Maynard, Mercedes on a 54.6, and then we've got Dutchy on a 54.4 as he just improved right now and beat Rick Debris by 11 thousandths a second. Oh, but I don't think his lap counted because he got a penalty on the lap. Then we've got Rick to be right behind in the same car in 54. We've got Bonivel 99. A veteran of the League Racing scene. As I've got some statistics of him, Bonivel 99 has been 31 times on the podium, and he's 10 times Grand Prix winner in Formula 1 and Gran Turismo, I assume. He's a one-time Super Formula champion, two-time Constructor champion, and he's got 89 race starts, so he's got a lot of racing under his belt, and he should be one of the veterans in this race. He's on the 55.0 as we speak, and he's driving up with the Aston Martin Vantage GT7.
I think we definitely have to watch out for Rami on this race with the Porsche 911. His car is not exactly the fastest in this current condition, but Rami with a 54.0 in practice, if he can convert that to the race, I think he's in for an amazing experience. But yeah, it's all about the chicane really, the chicane track limits. So critical that you attack it, otherwise you lose so much speed, but at the same time you don't overdo it, you don't exceed the boundaries. Yeah, only 3 seconds off. Let's do one more.
Let's go. Come on, you gotta cook. No practice.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit washed. Yeah, Rami's doing very well at the minute. I'm expecting big things from him in this race. So, Prezi, who are you predicting is your top 3 for this race?
So, by experience, I'm gonna go for the boy. Obviously, Rami's like my big brother, so I think I'm gonna root for him. But I'm also looking for my ex-teammates for him. So, those are Tyler and Xavier. And also James, although I've never spoken to James, but Tyler and Xavier, I hope they're gonna do well. But my top 3 prediction is gonna be, I think Rami's gonna win, I think Tyler's gonna finish second, and I think Peter Kramer is gonna finish in third place.
Yeah, it's all going to be who delivers under pressure, who keeps composure and consistency with their strategy.
Yep. That's what it is. Hold on, it's starting, so we're supposed to start the race in a minute. But, yeah, so I think we're going to exit after this lap. That is 53.8 miles.
Very scruffy lap, guys. Don't take reference from that, but yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Humble right now, trying to act humble. But Maxim, I think you have to exit so that...
I do indeed.
So 40 drivers, 7 teams, and yeah, Nurburgring GP. What is your prediction top 3 from this practice?
Oh, it's a good question. I personally wouldn't sleep on or overhype anyone in this race, right? But looking based off the lap times I just saw in practice, I'm backing Rami to win. And let's not forget the Porsche 911 is an S tier car in Group 3 right now with the balance of performance. So, if I had to bet. I still expect the unexpected, but I'm going with Rami, and then everything to play for the rest of the positions here. No, but Prezi, what do you think the drivers have to be most careful of during this race?
I mean, as a Gran Turismo World Series driver, usually the racing standards on the top level are usually, I'm gonna say, not all the time, but you get the best racing possible. But in that case, those drivers are not probably familiar with their driving, so they're gonna have to be a bit cautious and a bit patient with the way they drive. But I think if you can keep your bumpers scotch-free, I think you can make up positions, not necessarily being fast and not doing mistakes, because as you know, as we spoke about already, the penalties on this track are really harsh. So yeah, we could see anyone win basically because of mistakes. And yeah, so there we go, the qualifier has started. So we've got 10 minutes of qualifying and a 24 lap race.
Yep. Good luck to everyone. Have fun.
Good
That's the main thing.
to everyone. And that's the main, yes, that is the main thing to qualify. So I'm gonna ride on board with our provisional FV1, let's say, pole sitter, which is Rami's. And yeah, he's gonna...
So we're gonna, yeah. Nice livery as well.
Very nice livery, repping Canada, as you guys probably don't know. Rami is half Canadian and half Palestinian, so he's my neighbor, I would say. As a Lebanese fellow, I respect Rami a lot, and like I said already, I consider him like my big brother. So yeah, very nice livery, very creative, repping one of his nations, and yeah, I hope this livery can get him a couple of tens. Would you say so?
I would, well, with Rami, of course, as we said in the pre-show, I believe that this guy is very, very fast on his day, and obviously he's got the right attitude, he's got the right mindset when he's driving, just a more relaxed approach than the others, because I can tell you as a Gran Turismo World Series driver since 2020, it's so easy to let the pressure get to you in such high adrenaline circumstances, like mainly qualifying. I've always really struggled in qualifying, if I'm honest, but is no doubt the drivers in this race are going to be experiencing similar emotions. So I think honestly we should not count anyone out. I think the person who's going to perform best here is the one who can perhaps, I don't know, take a more relaxed approach and not feel the adrenaline so much. So I'm very excited to see how these people will perform.
So we've got, I completely agree with you, but we've got one of the lighting livery cars that is on the gravel. It is the car of Felix Schumacher, not the optimal start for qualifying. I don't know if this is a tactic that he's using going on the gravel, maybe gives you more grip. something that I don't know of, but yeah, so Marcus Armstrong attacking the first guy to attack flying lap right now in the BMW M6, and pretty scruffy turn 2 and pretty scruffy turn 3.
Go on, you tell them, son.
I think, I mean, I'm not the one to judge, but by the looks of it, I think he was a bit off. I thought his 36 were good as a sector, I don't think so. I remember doing 34s, but he has 10 minutes, so long qualifying session. Perhaps he's just getting to grips with the car and to find the limits, which is normal, but
exactly.
Yeah.
It's also worth mentioning, Prezi, with the BMW M6 in the Group 3 balance performance, it's always struggled very much on the traction limited corners, so mainly sector 1, sector 2. Sector 3 though, the corners are a little bit longer radius, it's a bit more high speed, and that's where the M6 with its downforce can really excel. So let's see if now he can get some lap time back over the course of this lap. And let's not forget with the wind speed, 5.9 meters per second, southeast and northwest. This is very suboptimal conditions for the drivers. So it's perhaps for wind. That should be. It might be important to note how wind sensitive each of these cars are. But everyone has 10 minutes. Let the conditions and the track temperature evolve. And yeah, let's see who comes out on top here.
Yep, and Nathan Marriott is about to finish his first lap, and a 55.8 as a blank, which is not really good as his teammate goes fast as Tyler Davison. Oh, and we've got Dutchy, the Dutch driver, with a 54.4 as a banker, which is really, I mean, I'm gonna say it's pretty good, and not sure about Rami, but perhaps did a mistake on his lap, but times are looking really close.
Times are looking very close indeed, and let's not forget that in the last year we've experienced physics changes. So the last time, let's say, the very top drivers of this game were really pushing this combination, it was really 51 mid, 51 high in qualifying. But now, since they've made the physics a little bit more understeery and trail braking is less strong, really you're doing well if you're in the mid to high 52s. So I think as these as the session will progress, these drivers will become more and more comfortable within the conditions, and maybe I expect track evolution to be very, very strong in this qualifying session, play a very, very big role. So let's see how everyone responds to these ever-changing environments.
Yes, man, I completely agree, and I wanted to go back on the Dutch driver Cameron Hill, who is on current provisional pole position right now, but as the drivers are preparing, coming up to the final sector of the track, do you think we're going to see any improvements? I think we're going to see 54.0, 53.9 potentially.
Yeah, it's sky's the limit really at Nurburgring as now the conditions evolve. And we got
Davison crosses the line in provisional. You want to beat Cameron Hill by only 25 thousandths of a second, which could be a bit painful. And Peter Kramer smashes it again, 54.394. Very solid lap, Maxim.
Yeah, very solid lap, and let's not forget with the balance of performance, I've been saying it quite a lot now about this system we have on the game, but the Ford GT 2018, especially at tracks because it has such a big turbo and it's not very geared towards the low speed corners, I'd say that the Ford is not the strongest car driving on this track at the minute, not at all. Cars like the Porsche, Peugeot, etc. about half a second faster, so I think Peter Kramer here is driving the wheels off this Ford of his, letting that experience with the brand come shining through.
Right now I'm on board with the provisional free practice fastest driver run, as long as I'm really comfortable with the conditions. he's currently 3 times off Peter, and he doesn't seem like he's improving his time. Well, what went wrong, do you think, with him? Although he still has about 2 more laps to go, what do you think went wrong with him?
Well, I think, as we said in the pre-show, the track evolution, the conditions are very, very drastic. When you have 6.3 meters per second of wind just flying around the track, the direction can be changed, the angle can be changing, it's ever changing. So, yeah, the car automatically becomes harder to drive, more understeer, slower on the straights. It's pretty drastic with 6.4 meters of wind flying around the track. So, I think the drivers will just need a couple more laps to adapt to it, really. And we got Dutchy in the Mercedes-Benz 2020 54.4.
Save your Maynard with a 54.663, and we've got a provisional positive. So Pierre Astor with the McLaren one, the 54.85. The gaps are ridiculously close. I'm gonna say I'm pretty surprised, honestly. This qualifying is really exceeding my expectations. Oh my god, I just realized I did a very big mistake and I have confused Cameron Hill, the number 5 car with so I'm not really familiar with the names, but I've confused, I think, Rick Alders and Mr. Cameron Hill, so excuse me on that. So Cameron Hill is the guy in Mercedes E5, and Rick Alders is the Clay Dutchy in 3rd place, currently sitting with the 54.417. So my apologies on this.
Oh, no worries. And it's worth mentioning that the Corvette is on a 54.3 here by Attengren, and he's doing a very good job with that car. This car is by no means the strongest in Group 3. He's just hitting the lines quite well. It's a pleasure to watch, and he's 1.6 tenths purple as a sector 3 split. Can he finish this off? Well, it's all or nothing in this bus stop chicane here. Let's have a look. Riding on board from Chase Cam.
Speaking of finishing it off, Rick Alders was at almost a 10th up on his lap, and he has won at the chicane. Shows how tough and how hard it is to hook up the lap here at the moment. And he does.
A 54.108 is now pole position. This is a very strong lap from the Finn here, absolutely.
Attengren is flying right now in the Corvette, which is pretty, I'm gonna say, surprising choice of car. And yeah, but he's managing his way through the track pretty well. And he is currently on provisional pole. Do you think this time will be beaten or topped off?
Well, only time will tell. We got a minute, but I saw a big mistake in the first corner, just go on the power too early, and that's cost him 4 tenths worth of lap time. So I think this is going to be Attengren's indeed his fastest lap. And yeah, he hits the gravel again, so I think we should go on boards to see here. Is anyone else improving?
Oh yes, Rami Azam is currently purple by 30,000, so the Schumacher else, so that's something to he's looking to have a really good lap, but Nati Chilla and Nathan Morit is in front of him, and will he hold him up, or will he be the gentleman and move over? But he is not particularly good at that, but that has resigned.
Yeah, unfortunately for Rami, he's going to get dirty air in this chicane section, which has a very profound impact on these GT3 cars in the corners. Oh yeah, and as Rami makes a mistake in the chicane, so easy to drop it there.
No penalty, but let's still check as he crosses the finish line to finish his round. Is it gonna be? No, it's not gonna be. As things stand, Xavier is on his lap, but I think when Ivo 99 is on the flying lap, he does look good, but it's only enough. Beats Rick Debris by only 1,000 of a second. 1,000 of a second, special number, yes.
Yeah, 1,000 is to be beat by 1,000 is excruciating. Yeah, cool. But I must say, we have to congratulate the grid. The top 7 of this lobby separated by just 4.5 tenths. Now for a league race, I think that's pretty impressive, isn't it, Prezi?
Yeah, it is, honestly. But honestly, I've got to give a bow, honestly, to Mr. Ate Timbren, who has set a pretty cool history that I've been qualifying in the Corvette. And yeah, Maxim, would you want to do the grid rundown?
With pleasure. So, starting on pole position with 1 minute 54.108 in his Corvette Group 3 is Mr. Ate Timgren. Then, moving down to second place, joining him on the front row with a 1 minute 54.3 is Peter Kramer with his 2018 Ford. Third place, and I'm going to do it from PSN IDs from now, just no confusion. So in third place with 1 minute 54.4 in his Mercedes-Benz GT3 is Play Dutchy. Joining him alongside in the second row is Tyler, 1901 in the 650. 650 very strong in the race, especially with tyre wear, so he'll be one to watch out for. Then on the third row, perhaps starting a little bit out position with a 54.499 is Rami Azam. Then joining him on the third row is Toussaint 0208. Again with a 54.504. Very tight gaps here indeed. Joining on the fourth row is Cameron Kaboom, 54.5 so Mercedes-Benz 6th and 7th. So let's see what the Silver Arrows can do in the race. Very strong tyre wear. Then alongside him is Piero with 54.6.
By the way, Maxim, is my voice heard, or like is it pretty low?
If you could just turn up mine, please. Then moving on to the fifth row of the grid, you've got Bonneville 99 with a 54.8 in his Aston Martin V12 Vantage, and alongside him on the fifth row is Ricky 224. 11th place is occupied by ex-Natty G in the BMW M6. One to watch for definitely in the race, as the M6 is one of the best cars on tyres. And alongside him is Ave Kobdabi in the McLaren 650 Group 3. And then rounding up the final row of the grid, it's Tiger Assassin 99, and it's an all Mercedes-Benz back row, which is a shame for Total Wolf. Tiger Assassin 99 and NLR Felix Zone. So, yeah, going into this race, Prezi, who you hedging your bets on?
I mean, initially I had my bets on Rami, Tyler, and Xavier, but I mean, they are behind each other, but not in the top 3, so Tyler's in 4th, Rami's in 5th, and Xavier's in 6th, but as you said, it's all to play for. Anything can happen in the race, and yeah, we've just got to wait and see.
Yeah, very exciting race ahead of us. I think we have to congratulate the drivers for giving it. They're all the top 7 separated by 4 tenths in a league race like this. I'm very pleasantly surprised, and fair play to everyone. It's nice to see a nice melange, a nice mix of cars in this grid. So yeah. Oh yeah, we're getting lights out in a second.
Yep.
So it's a grid start, Prezi. So who do you think can capitalise?
I'm expecting, I hope, to not have carnage, but this is a false start check. Start, and as the lights go off, we're gonna get ready to go, and lights out, and away we go. Ate Timgren with a solid start, I think, with Rick Alders right behind him, and Peter Kramer having kind of a bad start, you're gonna say? Slow start?
Yep.
Oh! Rami loses out to Cameron Hill, but he's side by side with him again to claim back his 5th position.
Yeah, all these drivers pushing very hard, trying to make up positions in the early place. We've got the Mercedes-Benz, this is 7 and 8, fighting lateral around that corner. Let's see, we got Toussaint on the inside. We've got Cameron Kaboom trying around the outside, but he's being left hung out to driver. And can Bonneville try and do the switchback in the Aston Martin? Oh no, he can't.
Pretty clean racing, if you ask me, as a first lap, honestly.
Very impressed.
Really solid respect from everyone. The drivers giving space. Oh, as Cameron Hill goes deep and on the gravel, onto the gravel.
Oh, Cameron Kaboom, yeah.
Cameron Hill has went from 6th to 13th in just the space of 10 seconds because he went a bit too deep on the brakes. I think that's gonna cost his race a bit, and he's gonna have to work back up to the top.
But he's on the medium compounded tyre according to our telemetry, Prezi. Anything can happen. I think quite a lot of the drivers up ahead are on soft tyres, so maybe he can go long, can try an alternate strategy. I think everything is up to play for here.
Yes, indeed. Ati Timgren right now, first in the Corvette, leading quite comfortably by about 0.8 of a second. Behind him we have Rick Alders.
Sorry to cut across you there.
No,
Peter Kramer with a half-second penalty there. That's gonna act as a major detriment to his race here. Typically, you lose more than a second due to a half-second.
That might give Rami a chance to attack the podium right now. But yeah, so I was saying, Rick Alders right behind Ati Timgren, not giving him a free pass to go on and lead the race. But I think a pretty solid start from the boys, the Speed Demon boys. So yeah, pretty solid start by them, and maximum points as it seems for now, obviously.
Yeah, but 24 lap race, anything can happen.
Yep.
So yeah, this is where the Porsche excels, the low speed corners, the traction. So Owen as Peter Kramer collects another 1.5 second penalty. This is just actually. This is like a disaster. This is Sisyphus for his race here. So.
This is a disaster of a start for Peter Kramer, the fourth man, I'm gonna say. Not looking good for him. But in fifth we've got Tyler Davison, my initial second place favorite, who is in fifth right now. Sitting in fifth comfortably, no one close to him behind or in front of him, just minding his own business in lap 2. Do you think he can do something with the McLaren? As I've seen, the McLaren has been really good and strong recently. With the
McLaren's still one of them cars which requires a little bit of balance performance decrease just before the official season. But on that medium tyre, he's in the prime position. He's leading the medium runners, which means that if he drives consistently, if he drives smoothly, there's everything to play for.
The alternate strategy could work really well for him. As Peter serves his penalty and what goes from third to fifth. This is how harsh penalties can be on this game, but Peter is on the faster tyre than Tyler. Is Tyler gonna be smart and let him through to avoid time loss, or is he gonna fight it off?
He's not fighting at all. He's turned the engine down, so Peter Kramer back up to fourth. Already 5 seconds behind Ati Timgren, which is in a field as tight as this, I think 5 seconds would be very difficult to make up there, especially with dirty air and negotiating other drivers. So it's now going to be damage limitation for Peter Kramer.
Yep. Do you think right now Rami looks to be the fastest driver on track? Do you think that Rick is going to help his teammate by defending Rami, or is he going to mind his own race and let him through, perhaps to work with Rami and try to catch Ati? This could be interesting, honestly. This could be an interesting take, honestly.
Yeah, but so Play Dodgy here in second place. Very he has a track position which is critical. He can do so much here with the track position here. The dirty air is it's like a tornado, some of the top drivers describe it as. So I think Rami, especially with the 911, which is not really a top speed car, will struggle to get past. So yeah, I think if they want to get maximum points in this team championship, then yeah, it would be a good idea to just do the Fernando Alonso style, just try and alternate lines, the art of motorsport.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you, but right now the Speed Demon car, Ati Timgren, is flying off in the distance, and as the things look, right now, who do you think would potentially challenge for the win? As we spoke about Tyler Davison already, he's on the medium tyres and he's only 6.3 seconds behind Ati Timgren.
Box. So it looks like it's going to be a one-stop strategy for most of the drivers. So he's peeling off early into the pits here. Let's hope for a smooth pit stop.
Also, Tyler is peeling off to the pits. I'm going to say considerably early, so he's going to go for a pretty risky undercut, and this might work for him actually. And as Peter Kramer showing his speed with this Ford, a 54.8 in the race, pretty solid lap time by Peter. making his way back to the top 3 potentially, and yeah, it's looking pretty good for Peter, although he had a pretty shaky start.
Yep, so it's worth noticing that the McLaren 650 GT3 is by far the best car in Group 3 on tyre, so Tyler Davison here can really exploit that advantage of his. So he's going to go very long on that soft tyre, just really have some clean air, put some consistent laps and try and not get a penalty, and that's going to be his approach, because I wouldn't rule out anyone from Atty Timgren to even Tyler Davison, because that McLaren 650 is considerably stronger in tyre wear than this Corvette, which is in the lead, which has done a 54.9 in the race with no slipstream. I think he's doing a very good job managing his pace and his tyre wear.
Atty is kind of a shock to me. Like, I honestly did not know Atty personally, as I'm not really in the esports scene anymore, so pretty of a shocker for me, but so far delivering for the Speed Demon team. And as I literally say that, he does a small mistake in the chicane. Am I a curse? Or was this just meant to be? Yeah, but yeah, Atty consistent with his lap time, 54.9 and a 55.0 right now, as you said, really maintaining his pace, maintaining his speed, and I think he's pretty much saving his tires as he has pretty good tire wear.
Yep. The only problem with the Chevrolet Corvette is it chews the front tires really because of the weight distribution. So play Dutchy and the Mercedes-Benz conversely has one of the best cars in Group 3 on tyre wear, and he can use that to his advantage and maybe push back up 55.1. Starting off from a 55.7 on lap 2, I think this kind of sets the tone for the race. Going ahead, I think tyre wear, not exactly the most important factor here, but I think what indeed it will be the most important factor is the consistency. Just gradually getting more comfortable in the zone, exploring the track evolution as the race goes on, and I'd say this race is still far from over, isn't it, Prezi?
Yeah, it is all to play for, and as we speak right now, we've got a scrap for 5th position between Rick Debris and Xavier Maynard, but Rick Debris is on the faster compound of tires, he's on the softs, while Xavier is on the medium tires, so it shouldn't be an issue for Rick to get through, but as the things stands, Rick isn't really setting the optimal lap times on the soft tires, a 56.1 on soft, but I think he's gonna try to get by Xavier as soon as he can to avoid losing time. And will he do it here in the chicane? No, he won't. He's gonna be patient.
Patience is the key here, isn't it, Prezi?
Yeah.
One rash mistake, and as Xavier Maynard peels off into the pit lane, so I guess that McLaren has got about a 2-lap tyre advantage on this combo, which is to be expected. So let's see what he can do lapping by himself.
Let's see how far he's gonna go out behind Tyler Davison. This could be interesting to see, as Tyler Davison is gonna finish his first time lap on the soft tires and a 55.0, so running the pace of the leaders. Tyler has
big undercut
by Tyler on Xavier, almost about 3.5 seconds on Xavier. Not looking good for Xavier, but you never know what can happen with the old strategy. But Tyler,
yeah, tyre wear is very tyre wear has quite a profound impact on the handling of the car and hence the pace of it. So, and by the way, I have to give a shout out to the BCR boys for a really beautiful livery. I really like it. Can I have it? No. So 3.6 seconds behind Tyler Davison. Can he crawl and can he claw it back over the course of the race with fresher tyres? Could be anyone's game. Mercedes-Benz
assassin James Kidwell. Sorry, I had to interrupt you, but he grabs a 0.5 second penalty, which is not going to be good for his race, as he has Cameron Hill right on his tail, really lurking behind, waiting for a mistake from James to try and get that provisional, I think it is 6th or 7th place, but yeah, so Cameron Hill in a really good place on fresh rubber. You never know what can happen.
Yeah, as we were saying previously, quite frequently, even it's a very long race, and everything is to play for, really, absolutely everything.
Yep. So as we go back to the leaders, so Ate Timgren with really surprisingly consistent lap times, 54.9, 55.0, a 54.8, and a 54.85 again. Mr. Ate Timgren really not lifting off and giving a break to his teammate Rick Alders, as he's really pushing hard in that first stint, trying to set an early stance on this championship. I think by the looks of it, Ate and his teammates have practiced quite hard on this combination.
Oh, and there's a little bit of a mistake. You have a magic curse on these guys, Brizzy, I swear.
Yeah, I think and Rami, as you see Rami in the background also running a bit wide on the gravel. Pretty quiet race for Rami right now. He's made up, I think, 1 position.
Yeah.
But
not too bad.
Things are looking pretty smoothly as he's eyeing up for a podium right now, but never safe with Mr. Peter Kramer right up on his 911 RSR's bumper. So you never know what can happen. But yeah, as we just gonna go for a quick grid rundown, as we have Rick Debris 6.5 seconds behind Peter, which is not optimal, but could be fighting for the midfield later on in the race with this strategy. And as we have Pierre...
on a
right
2-second penalty, I think he got an unfortunate track limit penalty. Track limit penalties are harsh here.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, track penalties will be really costly for the drivers, as Pierre is still on the racing medium, still hasn't pitted, and I think Pierre has done a mistake because he's only in front of Tyler by 2.5 seconds, and he still hasn't pitted, so I think Pierre's race is pretty much over as he dives into the pits right now with nothing to lose. And Tyler, surprisingly, sorry I had to cut you off, but Tyler surprisingly has lost a second to the leaders since he pitted. I was checking the gaps, and the gap was around 28.5 seconds. Now it's 29.5 seconds. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Firstly, I want to give a shout out to Ricky Debris. 55.1 in the race is not bad at all, especially given the caliber of the drivers at the front. And moving back to Tyler Davison, yeah, that McLaren. It requires you have to be a very aggressive with your driving style to just get temperature in the tyres. Track temp as important as mega lag there, but yeah, Tyler Davison car requires several laps of the tyres to get up to temperature. What's also equally as important as tyre wear on this combination is the tyre temperature, because of course grip. Yeah, there's a strong correlation between the tyre temperature and lap time. So I think the McLaren's taken a longer moment to just warm up its tyres. So I think it's still everything to play for at the end of this race, though. You know, the McLaren is not exactly the fastest around this circuit because of its very long gearbox and turbo lag. But we'll see what happens. He's clawing the gap. I think the tyre wear. The crossover point between tyre temperature and tyre wear is now starting to be quite equal, as Tyler Davison is slowly clawing in on Mr. Ate Timgren.
Yeah, it's gonna be all to play for, like I said, and I think Ate Timgren has done a mistake in lap 7 that we have missed, as Rick Alders has closed up the gap that was 3.1 seconds, now down to 2.6 seconds. I'm gonna assume it was the chicane or something. What would you think Ate Timgren did so that Rick Alders can close up the gap? Actually, now 2.4 seconds.
Well, I think it's critical to remember the chicane here. When you miss the braking point, miss the line, it has a profound, catastrophic impact on the lap time overall. So I think, thankfully, it's just an anomaly for Ate Timgren. Hopefully, he can ramp the pace back up.
Yeah,
and also we need to remember with Rick and P2 chasing in that Mercedes-Benz, you can see the tyre wear difference on the front axis of the car is dramatic. Yeah, Mercedes-Benz.
There's a big difference on those tires, man, and the performance of that Mercedes-Benz is showing off lap by lap right now. And also I want to mention Mr. Rami Azam has been overtaken by Peter Kramer, but
we missed it.
He is currently purple in Sector 1. You think he can potentially snatch away the fastest lap by Peter?
I think time will tell. Everything, how should I say, is beautiful and uncanny until the chicane. So let's see.
Rami is actually up by 50 thousandths of a second right now on his lap, and he's really on the back.
Oh, and defending Peter Kramer.
Rami is sending it in the chicane. Is that going to be worth it? So Rami does get the move done, Rami does get the move done in the chicane. Really ballsy move, I'm gonna say, and
really,
well done to Rami.
Really aggressive, really beautiful.
Back in P3 right now, Rami chasing the leaders, head down, and I'm gonna see where the fuel is for some people at the moment, and I think Rick Alder out of the top 4 has the most fuel out of everyone in the Mercedes, which is pretty, I'm not gonna say shocking, as the Mercedes is a really good car, but as I just saw a Vesta go by in the gravel. Not looking good.
Not looking ideal here. Wouldn't be. Slava Ukraine, by the way. I'm Ukrainian, so that's very nice to see the stickers on the car. But yeah, an unfortunate moment for the American, and yeah, been a bit of a pretty torrid time. Was towards the back in qualifying. Has made quite a critical mistake in the race. How do you, as an experience as
best race?
No, not the best race at all. As your experiences as a Gran Turismo World Finalist 2023 TGR, my man Prezi is here. How do you deal with such setbacks mentally, such mistakes?
Thank you for the quick shout out, but so obviously 2022 Toyota guys are racing in the Middle East and North Africa Cup. I did a mistake in qualifying actually, and this led to me starting last in the final race, and I went from last to second. If only I had one more lap I could have won the race, but setbacks like this only motivates me to perform even better. So 2023 edition of the Toyota Guys Racing Cup, I actually won it, which led me to get a ticket to the World Finals, but unfortunately in the World Finals I have not really proven my pace, and things didn't really go the way for me because I wasn't able to practice for the race, any of the races, but the pace was there and it was pretty promising.
For Prezi, in my opinion, like, here's the thing. It's important to remember that this Gran Turismo 7 has become almost a full-time job for some members in the upper splits. So Prezi is one of the people that plays the least I know. I think he's the person, he plays the least out of everyone I know, like from the upper split community. So I think it's important to remember how strong you are with so little time spent on the game, because at the end of the day we're doing this as most of us are doing this as a hobby. Like, there's other priorities out there. But as Mr. Atti Timgren, 2.4 seconds, still maintaining that buffer with the Mercedes-Benz of Rick and P2. Let's compare. And that's quite a catastrophic difference in tyre wear there. That Mercedes-Benz really is shining in the race there as the distance goes on. That front tyre wear could play a very crucial role towards the end of this race. Could do an undercut, maybe even an overcut. I think it could be nail biting to the finish, really. Still a very long race ahead of us.
It is actually. So I want to talk about someone in this race who's doing a particularly different strategy than everyone. It's Felix Schumacher, currently on 11 laps, old medium tires, and still hasn't boxed for new tires. Interesting. Is he going for the no stop? Potentially. Could be.
Lightning McQueen, I'll absolutely love. Oh, and Cameron, Tiger Assassin, nearly lateral here. Got the Mercedes-Benz boys. Mercedes-Benz was indeed a very popular choice for this round, President. Yeah, it's just, whilst it's nice to see German track with German car, it's quite a lot of Mercedes-Benz. Why do you think people chose the Mercedes-Benz?
Honestly, I'm no one to say anything, as I haven't been playing the game, but by the looks of it, I think the Mercedes and the McLaren are particularly pretty famous choice, because I think they're really good cars overall, and they could work really well in a season. So yeah, that's my opinion. What is yours?
Well, I think Mercedes-Benz has three very key advantages. First of all, it's one of the very fastest cars out there in terms of single lap pace. It's crazy. The Genesis, for example, is significantly slow over a lap. Secondly, the tyre wear. The race pace is just simply incredible. I think, as we can see, the difference between Rick and Mr. Ati Timgren, the front tyre wear difference is catastrophic. It's an absolute, can really make or break a race. And then
shows the levels of the car performance. So really solid job from Mr. Ati Timgren. Really proving his driving skills, using not the best car, but his driving skills are making up for it, which is something I really appreciate myself and respect, as I really respect guys who use the car for its beauty of driving, not for its performance. But yeah, you have to also, sometimes you have to be the winner, you have to use the best car. This is what I think the rest of the guys are doing.
Indeed. And thirdly, of course, we must mention the Mercedes-Benz is one of the easiest cars to drive in Group 3, in my opinion, which is why I think, as much as it's a question of performance, it's also a question of consistency and your feeling within the car. Mercedes-Benz is a confidence-inspiring car. I know this from driving it quite often at the higher level, so to me it's not surprising at all why people have taken the Mercedes-Benz. Over the season, it's best. You tend to perform best when you're comfortable and experienced with certain handling characteristics of the car, and the Mercedes-Benz is definitely one of the easiest cars to drive. So probably one of the more confidence-inspiring cars over the course of the season, and it's a very strong all-rounder with excellent tyre wear and single lap pace. So yeah, and we can see Rick gradually converging the gap,
coming back. Yeah. I was gonna say, so I think Ati Timgren is gonna look to box potentially in the next coming lap. So I'm gonna say 5 laps. He's gonna box 5 or 6 laps to put on the medium tires, and I'm gonna have a quick look. Tyler Davis still 28 seconds behind Ati Timgren, but on really good tires, like excessively good tires. Proving your point earlier, but surprisingly, Xavier behind him, just behind Tyler. I think 2 laps fresher soft tires, and yeah, it's looking potentially in the fight for the race win.
Very nail-biting stuff here, Prezi, because let's not forget, when these guys will have to box with the medium tyres, they'll be significantly slower than these mildly used soft tyres. So I'm rubbing my hands. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. The race is really between Tyler Davis and Ati Timgren, the Corvette, which is it's almost exponential now, how the tyre wear is starting to fall away from him. So I'm very interested to see whether he's going to choose to peel into the pits with some fresh tyres in a minute. He can't carry on much longer. Whereas meanwhile with Mercedes-Benz, I think he could basically finish the race on a set of tyres. That's unfortunately is what it is with Group 3. Sometimes the tyre wear difference or how cars behave on certain multipliers can lead to pretty unbalanced, a lack of balance. So, but yeah.
So honestly, what I would say is that Ate will start to think about boxing as soon as his lap time starts dropping. So that's what I would do, at least. I would look at the lap time. as soon as I start losing, like as soon as I think to myself, if I could be faster on the medium tires, and I would just initially box and not waste my time on a worn set of rubber. So yeah, that's at least what I would look at when I think of mod boxing. Maxim, if you want to have a look at Peter and Rami's tires,
very similar. So on the front axes, that Ford, it's basically, not to be a professor for today, but the weight distribution difference. So the Ford has less weight on the front axle. That's why we can see quite a difference on the front tyre wear. But since it's got more weight on the rear.
Very impressive tyre wear by both Peter and Rami. I think they're gonna go really long on this race and box at the...
Oh, as Ava has called it a day. Tough luck for him.
Yeah,
but
I think Vesta called it a day as he's not been having the best of the races. But yeah, but as you speak of Avesta, people in the back having a battle for 10th as Felix, James and Pierre are scrapping.
Oh, versus new Mercedes-Benz.
Oh.
Tiger Assassin going to dive down the inside. That's a very brave move on the chicane, late on the brakes, and yeah, pretty easy move indeed with tyre differential, softy medium, probably about 1.3 seconds a lap difference. So yeah, I think _Felixson's really had a dog's day in the office here. I think he's just trying some sort of unique strategy here, which isn't really playing to his strengths.
I don't think Felix has had the best of strategies, but in terms of consistency, he's been consistently.
Oh, and he's a small mistake from Tiger Assassin. He's going to try and sense a gap down the inside. Can he try and hold it around the outside? No, he can't. The tyre differential's too big. Then Pierre is playing on in the action with the very fresh tyre wear here.
Yeah, it could be interesting for Pierre to try to make some ground from the scrapping that James and Felix are doing right now. As there is one guy who's substantially gaining from all of this, and it's Mr. Cameron Hill, right up above on the road. He extended his gap on those three drivers just because of them scrapping, which could secure him potentially 9th in the race.
Looking good for Cameron. Had a bit of a dog's day with qualifying. Maybe could have had room for improvements, and I think first lap was a bit of a disaster for him in the gravel as Pete. So he's doing good recovery, and as Peter Kramer peels into the pits, only 15 laps in the 2018 Ford. I think the rear tyres were starting to give way.
I think Peter could have stayed a bit more because his lap times were still pretty competitive. So I don't know why he dived into the pits. He puts in a new set of medium tires, which is expected.
Oh, and we're gonna have sorry to cut across you there, Prezi, but this could be very very pivotal for the race. Yeah, Tyler Davidson on that soft tyre, which is mildly used. It's going to be seconds a lap faster than that Ford on the medium tyre. So this is going to be essential for Tyler's Davidson's race if he can try and find a gap to go past and maybe fight for the win even with that McLaren. And as Peter very scruffy on the exit cold tyres because he got a penalty. He just about gets away with that one, but now this is going to be for the upper points positions.
This is going to be interesting. Are they going to work with each other?
Believe not.
No, I believe not. I think Peter is defending right now. Tyler is going to have
Tyler Davidson on the outside, Peter Kramer on the inside. Can he hold it around with the fresh tyres in the McLaren Group 3 car? And yes, he can. He can. Beautiful racing, beautiful respect on both of them. And Peter Kramer just holds the advantage for now. Holds the track position.
I think they're starting to lose a bit of time on the leaders if they're going to keep fighting like this. So I think Tyler has to get on with Peter as fast as he can. And I think Antitico stays out for one more lap, and it's actually really doing really good lap times and some points off the tires.
And as Rami Azam peels off into the pit, so he's trying to respond to perhaps the undercut. But I think Peter Kramer's had quite a scruffy little lap. He's had a little bit of lap racing with Tyler Davison, so I think Rami will indeed be safe, really safe. And yeah, at this point,
this scrap between Tyler and Peter may have gave Rami the podium position.
Indeed. It's going to be very close on pit exit. Let's see what happens here. Oh no, it's Peter. Oh, okay.
Oh,
so
it's gonna be pretty close. Oh, it's a.
Oh, and as Tyler Davison looks for a gap.
Rami just comes out behind actually Tyler and Peter.
One lap fresher tyre. But I think
lap fresher tyres, but as the Porsche is one of my favorite cars, from experience I can say that this Porsche is absolutely amazing to drive on any tyre. At least it was, but it still is. Of course, it has its values. But I think Rami would be able to perhaps close the gap on Tyler and Peter, and perhaps challenge for a podium, potentially for a race win. Who knows?
Yep. Indeed. Oh, and there's a little bit of a mistake from Peter Kramer. Yeah, he's feeling the pressure. Tyler Davison he's just got a significantly faster car right now, probably seconds faster. So Peter Kramer really having to. This is the art of motorsport, ladies and gentlemen.
Tyler is jeopardizing his race right now, sitting behind Peter, but nothing he can do right now. I mean, he's gonna have to try to create some space and an overtaking opportunity on Peter, but that Ford is looking really fast on the straight line compared to the McLaren.
Not the strongest on acceleration from experience is the Ford, and definitely neither the McLaren, but yeah, the upper gears when the power kicks in the higher revs, that Ford is hard to beat. So yeah, Tyler Davison really, it's only going to get better for Pete. Oh, and very squirrely on exit there for Peter Kramer. It's just going to get better and better because Tyler Davison's tyres are gradually going to degrade, and as NLR Felixson calls it a day. Shame for him, Felix Schumacher, absolute shame for him.
So I have been told Tyler Davison is struggling with an upshift issue right now from his team principal, and this could perhaps, I think it would affect his race in a probably bad way, as Tyler has been driving a really nice race, I think.
That's a shame. Technical issues there. You never want to see them, unfortunately, especially the Fanatec DD Pro. A lot of the top players are mid-race having failures. It's I can't begin to tell you how demotivating and mentally corrosive it is when you get failures like these in such high adrenaline moments. But let's see what he can do still. But going back to my point previous, always he's trying to run the outside alternate lines, trying to get out the dirt, yeah, but this situation is going to get exponentially worse for Tyler Davison as the tyres degrade more and more, whereas I think deg on this medium tyre is basically non-existent. So as the fuel burns down, Peter Kramer going to be just going faster and faster, so Tyler needed to pounce earlier.
Yeah.
So I think it's looking like this is really the battle for the podium right now.
Yeah, and really those three are battling right now, completely forgetting that Ate and Rick Alders are just comfortably leading at the top.
Car crossing, Prezi trying to go lateral again around. Can Tyler Davison go around the outside for the chicane? No, he can't. Parks the bus absolutely perfectly. Does Peter Kramer on that, and as Rick peels off into the pits.
Rick Debris peels off into the pits. I don't think he's gonna emerge anywhere near Peter, Tyler, and Rami. So I think he's a pretty rough one, but. Yeah, so Ricky...
huge mistake from Tyler Davison. That's going to let Rami Azam exploit that mistake, and yeah, from a net P3 down to P5 now. Rami Azam, beautiful move. Just saw a gap.
Just waits for the driver to make a mistake and takes advantage of it beautifully. Perfect driving from Rami.
And we got Xavier Maynard here. On the by far the freshest tyres here. I think he's still going to be seconds faster than the podium gaggle here. Maybe he could do something here if these guys are not careful. And Tyler Davison elbows out. Oh, that could be a a penalty, but that's his really muscular racing from Tyler Davison here. Exploited the gap there. Rami Azam trying to scare Tyler Davison, but to no avail. No avail, Percy, that was a very muscular move. Thoughts on that one?
That was pretty... That pretty shocked me, because Tyler never usually gets his elbows out when it comes to these types of overtake, but I think Tyler was a bit frustrated on the mistake in turn 1, and he's trying to make back up for it, knowing that he had perhaps the fastest tire, but I think those mediums are starting to come alive, Maxon, don't you think so?
Yep, as I said a couple minutes ago, it's only going to get better for Pete Kramer from now on. So
yeah, and as we have a really important thing to notice, Ate Timgren, the leader, has peeled off into the racing line after completely driving
the rims off this Corvette, and where is he going to come out? This is going to be comfortably in the lead here. No, Ate Timgren has absolutely excelled. Yeah, at the minute he's my driver of the day. I mean, Ate Timgren. It's not particularly a name I know much of. If I'm brutally honest, it's the first time I've heard of this dude, but he's performed against 75k plus DR drivers like Peter Kramer, Rami Azam. He has performed in a slower car, I might add as well, especially struggling on the front tyre wear. I think he's performed absolutely beautifully. As Tyler Davison's trying to make hay whilst the sun shines on that soft tyre. It's making Peter Kramer go defensive. Can he try and sling it around the outside? They go lateral. Oh, beautiful. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh.
Tyler Davison on the grass. Is Robinson gonna go for the switchback?
Oh dear.
God. Oh no.
Out of a potentially like a podium race, Mr. Taylor there. Tyler there, absolutely. Very unfortunate circumstances there. Can't even call it a bottle. I think he received dirty tyres from that little excursion onto the grass.
It went from good to bad and bad to worse for Tyler Davison.
Tyler Davison, yeah, 100 to 0 kind of behaviour here.
There is kind of a winner from all of this scrap. It's the veteran Mr. Boniven, 99, up into 6th after starting.
Aston Martin V12 Vantage, pretty mediocre car in Group 3 actually. It's had some improvements, but it's run a very consistent race. And yeah, let's see if he can capitalise on the mistakes around us. Unfortunately, Mr. Xavier Maynard, indeed, 1 second penalty. I think that's a huge dent into his challenge for the podium here. So
that could give Bonivel a look to perhaps snatch P5 also and have a pretty good race from Bonivel so far. Went from P9 to P6. I'm gonna say
very strong, especially Aston Martin is not known for the tyre wear. The front tyres are pretty poor. So he's done a consistent job. But as we can see here, the tyre wear difference between that Mercedes-Benz on several laps pressure tyres versus the Aston Martin, it's night and day the difference. I'm expecting Xavier Maynard to have absolutely no problem, no challenge keeping the Aston Martin and from Mr. Bonival behind him. So as I calculated earlier before, like Mercedes-Benz are very that tyre wear's super impressive. 21 laps.
21 laps on softs.
Very strong.
I think he can still, but I think the optimal thing would be to box this lap, because let me check the pace of the leader. So Peter on medium tires is currently doing 55.7. 56.7, 55.8.
Yeah, battling, so we'll say high 55.
Yeah, and so I think the crossover point could come soon for Rick Alder. I think he's gonna, in my opinion, go into the pits this lap. So the lap that's gonna come, and
55. Yeah, okay. He's still trying to. Yeah, that soft tire, the grip difference between soft and medium is so noticeable that in many cases the top split drivers like to run the softer tyre compound literally into the ground, into the absolute rim, and I think that's what Rick is trying to do here, and he can do that because that Mercedes-Benz is so beautiful to drive. As the tyre wear worsens, the car just gets more balanced, easier to drive. So
as we can see here, AT Timber 55.8 on those fresh sets of mediums. Really stellar performance by AT, man. He really exceeded my expectations. Like I said, the driver from the Speed Demon team really doing a fantastic job today with his teammate Rick Alders in a provisional potential second place right now.
Never know. Yeah, as we can see by the pace on lap 21, they were give or take equal. Mercedes-Benz versus Corvette there, so it's looking like Mr. Atty Timgren, who's performed in the Corvette an absolute phenomenal race, is looking to secure a pretty comfortable win here. But never say never. Expect the unexpected. 2 laps to go.
Yeah,
anything can happen.
2 laps to go indeed. And as we say, never expect the unexpected. Rami is only 4/10 of the 3rd and final podium spot, so I think we could be looking for a pretty nice fight for the last podium spot, and potentially with Rick Alders stopping, we never know where he might end up. Potentially right in front of.
He's gonna have to peel off into pits now. Yeah, it's a box for.
Like I said, I predicted Rick to box off this lap, and he has peeled off to the pits. So
perfect.
Pretty. I want to see where he would end up. I definitely think that he's gonna be behind his teammate, but will he emerge in front of Peter and Rami? This is gonna be interesting.
Can we just, how shall I say, can we just appreciate the fact that Mr. Atty Timgren, over people who have 75 80,000 driver rating on this game, has pulled 10 seconds over this 40-minute race distance. That's incredibly impressive from Mr. Atty Timgren, especially with that Corvette.
Oh, as Rick Alders emerges almost 7.5 seconds in front of I'm gonna say 6.5 seconds in front of Peter, which is
Peter Kramer really
substantially.
I think he's lost his rhythm, a little bit of a mistake there. Can Rami his own pounce? He's gonna try to find that alternate line. Now he's gonna try for that switchback. Yeah, I think.
Grab your popcorns. The 2 teammates are fighting right now. We do have to remember that Rami and Peter are teammates, and those points could be really crucial for them in the Constructors' Championship, but maybe team orders are off for those final 2 laps.
Oh, come on, Percy. Team orders are definitely off for a race like this. Fight. So, for the last position on the podium, who's going to win out the Speed Demon is going to be Peter Kramer in that 2018 Ford, or Rami in that 911 RSR. I must say, with all due respect to both parties, I think Peter Kramer has definitely, given that the balanced performance, we know how it is, Porsche's a much stronger car. I think Peter Kramer can be quite proud of what he's done so far in this race, to be keeping that 911 RSR behind.
Yeah, I mean, I would say
nothing. Half-second penalty for Mr. Atty Timgren. We are praising him so much. Can he keep that gap before the end of the race?
First penalty for Atty Timgren, I think. Is he crumbling under pressure? I don't think so.
Okay, he's got the gap, and I must say, shout out to Mr. Pierrot, from I want to say Nord-Pas-de-Calais, the 62, but 54.6 in the race, not bad at all.
Not bad at all. I think Pierre has had a rough race.
But you can get the glory from the fastest lap.
From the fastest lap, so he can be proud of that. And not the best of races for Mr. Nathan Marriott down in P11. And also
BMW M6 tyre wear.
Yeah.
I think it's clear that Mr. Nathan has must be driving on a DS5 controller, because that BMW M6 should not have that front tyre wear. But that's how should I say, coming from a person who, how should I say, sweats the game way more than these people. Not just experience, I put in more hours than these people, so how should I say, I'm in no position to be critical. Yeah, and it's steering 100. Yeah, and people, how should I say, people that can find the limit of the grip and release the steering wheel faster. Not only do you get the lap time coming to you thick and fast, your tyre wear significantly has a significant impact.
Yep, so right now I'm just gonna mention that Peter has extended his gap on Rami by 1.2 seconds.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake, 56.6. Yep, I missed that one.
Rami messed that up, but pretty solid driving from Rami today. I'm gonna give it to him, as I know for a fact that he has not practiced for this race. Knowing Rami, I'm sure he hasn't practiced for this race, so probably really solid.
Oh, yeah, he's feeling the pressure. 2 corners left, Mr. A. Timgren. So, very strong. He had everything against him here. Better cars, front tyre wear, but Mr. A. Timgren weaving across the finish line wins the Nurburgring GP round 1.
And his teammate Rick Others follows him in a very solid second place, on 2 seconds of his teammate, Peter Kramer in third and Rami Azam in fourth, following behind them Xavier Maynard, a very good 5th place, but even 99 with a stellar performance in 6th. Tyler Davis.
What could have been for Mr. Tyler?
A disappointing 7th position, he's not going to be happy with that. Cameron Hill in 8th, Rick Debris in 9th, James Kidwell, Xavier's teammate, in 10th, Nathan Marriott, a disappointing 11th place. He's going to be looking to come back stronger for the future, and Mr.
And
Pierre,
rounding out with the fastest lap of 54.6, Mr. Pierrot.
and solid lap, 54.7 also at the end. Pretty
Not bad at all from our friend. So yeah, as the ceremony happens, Mr. Atty Timgren winning.
Yeah. Pierre has showed glimpse of speed at the end, so he could be also one to watch later in the season. But yeah,
indeed,
this has been really nice race, and
yeah. What was your highlight of the race, Percy?
I think the highlight of the race was really for me. I mean, it was the race start, lots of chaos, and pretty unexpected winners right here, as my prediction has gone completely wrong. But yeah,
I think Mr. Atty Timgren. Mr. Atty Timgren has exceeded every expectation set before him. We were pledging our bets towards Mr. Rami Azam, who, in that Porsche 911, hasn't had the finest day in the office for him. I'm sure he'll want to come back stronger for the next round. But I want to acknowledge as well Mr. Rick in second place. Very respectable job, just 2 seconds behind Mr. Atty Timgren in that Benz. Tyler, it will be ruined that
what could have been.
What could have been. I think just had a little bit of muscular racing with Peter Kramer. He just came off worse, and yeah, 7th place. You want to come back from it, but knowing how strong that McLaren 650 Group 3 car is in just the Group 3 class in general, he's going to be coming back swinging. So 8th place for Mr. Cameron, and then behind him Ricky, Tiger Assassin, Nathan and Pierrot, with Mr. Ave Gobabi and Felix Schumacher retiring from the race. So
yep, unfortunate race for them.
Unfortunate for them.
Wanting to come back, as we have Ate doing donuts.
Oh, I know. I'd do donuts as well. You know, that's very strong performance from him in the Corvette, which is definitely an off-meta car, not the strongest at all. So he's done an incredible job to hold back Mercedes-Benz 8 KDR drivers and stronger car. I think Mr. Atty Timgren could be one to watch out for the future if he continues to consistently put them hours in.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna run it off here, Maxim.
Yeah, no, guys, thank you for tuning in, all 6 of you. It was a real pleasure. Good fun to watch. I think the race exceeded expectations. Definitely, we had how should I say, our predictions were totally wrong. I think the Nurburgring GP has proven to be an excellent track for not only strategy but lateral racing. Was very muscular, very enjoyable to watch, especially between Rami Azam, Pete Kramer, Tyler Davison. Yeah, thank you for sharing the experience with us, and yeah, as Percy said, thank you for listening.
Thank you for being an amazing host and my co-host, and we will see you guys next Friday, I think, for round 2. And, yeah, see you soon.
Yep. So that's going to be the conclusion of the broadcast, guys, and I really appreciate all of you coming in, and we'll catch you definitely next time, and we wish you a great weekend. Bye bye.